Good morning. Welcome to Community Relations Committee. And we have a one-item agenda today for City and Parks website update. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Okay, nice second. So unanimously approved. And let's go ahead and move forward. We'll get to see an update to our City Parks website. And I believe Shannon has the floor from here, correct?
Thank you, Council Member, and
All right.
good morning, Council Members. I'm going to be joined here by Jen Burbich, our Parks, Culture, and Recreation Director, and also by Kelly Adams, our new Special Projects Administrator here in the Public Affairs Department. And we are very happy to be talking about our new websites for both the city as well as for the Parks, Culture, and Recreation Department. We did go before the General Government Committee back in August of 2021, and we are excited to show off some of the progress we've made on the projects, as well as the approach that we're going to be taking here moving forward and a tentative timeline. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Adams, who is going to take us through the project.
Hi, Kelly. Good morning.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, committee members. So just permit me one moment to get my screen shared. Okay, so can you see the website project introduction?
Yes,
ma'am.
Great. Well, I'm excited to be here and I'm honored to be your new Special Projects Administrator. And so our first big project for this role is the website. And so I'm going to talk about cityoflacey.org and laceyparks.org, and then we're going to take you on a little sample tour. And so these are the questions that we are planning to answer today. And the purpose of the presentation is to introduce you to the new sites, to answer these questions and gather any additional questions or concerns that you may have. First question is, why now? Why are we doing this now? And so it really doesn't need a whole lot of explanation. It's pretty well understood that this is a difficult site for visitors and staff. Our website has become a historical record of where we've been and what we've done, and not necessarily where we're going. And so something that's really important to keep in mind is this is our first website. This is the first website that the City of Lacey ever created, and we're still going with it. And so there are quite a lot of old documents in here, and it's not quite as intuitive as we would like. And so it's time to move beyond our first website.
You're being nice.
I'm being positive and informative.
There you go. There you go. Love
So
it.
in talking to staff and talking to the community, we've had a lot of survey efforts over the last couple years, for example, Lacey Cares. And what we've heard from staff and visitors is we need a site that's easy to use and to edit, that's efficient and collaborative, which means our staff are not only able to make changes quickly, but at the same time, we shouldn't have to wait turns to do editing. We want it to be accessible and shareable, reliable and secure. That is the big one. We don't want to deal with hacking and security issues and ransomware. So we need to modernize. So we have three main phases called goals for this site. And traditionally people will use SMART goals, which are making sure that what we're doing is specific. We can specifically tell you what this goal is, that we can measure success, that it's something that's realistic, it's attainable, it's relevant to the mission and goals of our organization, it's time bound, we can tell you exactly when we expect it to happen, it's inclusive, which means we are getting feedback and we are also responding to the feedback and incorporating it, and that we are being equitable. Can everyone in the community use this as an information resource? And so I'll walk you briefly through our three goals here. The first is a new, secure, and functional site by the end of the first quarter. This is attainable if we focus on functionality. So we get our core services and most important information up by the end of the first quarter. Visitors can reach their information in less than 5 clicks, and I'll show you later how even 5 is, we might not even need 5 clicks. We can search content very quickly. And information that's necessary to post in multiple locations is syndicated. That means we upload it once and it goes out to multiple locations simultaneously. And I'll talk a little bit about that later. This is definitely relevant to our mission and goals as a city to improve the quality of life for all of Lacey. And we're being inclusive by having constant team meetings with staff and any focus groups. And that's how we're collecting feedback, concerns, and ideas. And as far as equity, this site will be more modern. It will have better accessibility features. And so we will be looking to constantly improve and capitalize on those equity and accessibility features. Our second phase is to polish the diamond. And that's where we really optimize content and we move away from just a functionality focus to a smooth optimization focus. And so we're going to make sure that our web pages are conforming to the design that we intend. This is basically the website functions as we design it. And that's how we measure success. There's no misdirected or broken links. When you click on something, it behaves as we designed it to. So this, as far as timing, our web reps will be trained by the end of Q2. And we will have updates to all of our staff at different periods in March, April, and May. And so as far as inclusivity, it's important that we're really focusing on our web editors, our staff that work on the website, but also making sure that our entire staff is informed about the process and what is going on. We're really focusing on transparency. And this will be the phase where we look at all of our paper forms and we really update to electronic forms. We don't want anybody to have to print anything off our website. You should be able to engage and find services and apply for an advisory position on an advisory board or apply for an HOA grant. Things should be online and electronic. Let's see here. Our third phase is maintenance, and we would expect maintenance for any program like this, but we really also want to have an after action report, and that's an AAR that we complete at the end of December. And that report will include the quantitative data that the website will give us about our visitors and traffic, but also qualitative data about the experience. So is it really as easy to navigate as we intend? Is it easy and functional for our staff to edit? And so we expect to have that at the end of December. But in the maintenance phase, we are going to make sure that not only are we posting accurate and timely information, but that we're also properly archiving old data so that we're not clogging up our screens with things that are no longer relevant. And syndication is really going to help us with that. Let's see, is there anything else I want to tell you about phase 3? So maintenance, I think that's something we'd all expect. So there's 2 concepts that are important to understand about how this website is different from our current website. And the first is service. We are going to focus on services. You shouldn't have to know who provides a service in order to find the service. So if you're looking for utility billing, you shouldn't have to know that that lives in the finance department. You should just be able to get to the billing service. Or if you need notary services, you shouldn't have to know that that comes through the clerk. So focus on services. And syndication. So the way that we're thinking about syndication is, when television producers would package up shows and sell them to networks, the networks could show them when and where it was convenient for their audiences. And in that same way, we are taking our content, such as news, bids, documents, videos, events, public meetings, public notices, press releases. We're taking that content, we're packaging it up, making it look really professional and uploading it once. And then it will disperse out to all of the pages where there is a news section or a document section or whatever type of syndicated category that we have. And so that really makes this more efficient. And if there's anything that needs to be changed, we can change very quickly and be a little bit more agile in how we're communicating. So our next steps is we are working with our teams to get the content uploaded, and we're working with our developer to make sure that the tech is functioning the way that we expect. And so at this point, we are going to go on a tour, but I wanted to pause to see, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, if Zoom will let me have the magic button.
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra. Zoom is not giving me the button. There it is. All right. Are there any questions that I can answer about the sort of planning and execution?
I have none. I'm excited that Carolyn does. Go ahead, Carolyn.
Well, don't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're fine.
Curious, after phase 1 and then going into phase 2, what that may look like on the viewer end of things. Are they good? Is that going to be pretty seamless from outside looking in, or are they going to see kind of a Spartan site to begin with and more things added on, or what?
So it should be pretty seamless. And I will show you, let's just go ahead and get into the preview.
Okay.
And it'll really be just a revealing of more content and more graphics.
Gotcha.
But actually, sorry, go ahead.
And Councilmember Cox, what I will say is they will notice a change in some of the services that Kelly has already outlined, and that would be in some of the access to forms and documentations that might be sent into the city. So that would be one change. Currently, it's going to be, kind of PDF driven as our past website was. But the idea really is to enhance services to allow individuals to connect with the services they're interested in seamlessly, rather than having to go through multiple mediums to get to those services.
Yeah, so as it stands now, it's really challenging to navigate unless you know exactly where you're going. And then regarding the PDFs, so looking at some of the forms that we have the committee members or community members go to, we'll still have options to print these forms if we want to, but the intent is to make it all seamless and electronic so that we can fill out forms online, submit without having to burn any paper. But the option would be left to the end user, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Great.
And we always want to give you that option to print out a form, but also we want to give you the option to conveniently fill out a form on your phone or on your mobile device or on your desktop.
So the site where the intention is to make it more user friendly for smaller devices as well. That's great.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
we are in overdue for an upgrade. I'm really glad to see this come to fruition here.
That's great. And what's one big advantage of filling out forms electronically is that you can get a confirmation that the form was submitted, and you get a copy. You can get a copy of your input. And I think that's really important for transparency and reliability. And so hopefully my screen is sharing this beautiful sunset. Do you see this?
Yep.
So this is the cityoflacey.org is what it will be. So we're also simplifying the name. So it won't be ci.lacey.wa.us, it'll be cityoflacey.org. And this is our front page. And you immediately see that our top visited services that we've looked at through analytics are right up front.
Nice.
And so something that I'm really excited about and something I've been working with Public Works on is our community request page, which is also called our Lacey 311. This will evolve into a new approach in how we handle customer requests. And what this does is it really centralizes one place where our customers can come and report issues and ask for more information on services. And each of these categories, like let's say I have a street issue, I select street issue, and then it gives me a variety of street issues that I may be seeing. And let's say I put in, there is a construction project that I'm concerned about. I can provide the address of the issue, I can provide a screenshot, I can provide a file, and then I can get a record of my response. So I can say, I would like a response, and this will automatically send this to the appropriate staff person or department where that issue lives, and we can track how quickly that gets responded to.
Cool.
And we have links to different things that would be relevant, like, well, did you want a public record request? And that will route you to that.
With screenshot, would they also be able to like upload a photo of the problem? Like
Yes, so they have a photo right here, and I apologize, I shouldn't have said screenshot. They can upload a file, so they can add a photo of the issue that they're seeing.
Gotcha.
And so if you're working on your phone, this is very convenient. If you're out and about, you see an issue, you take a picture with your phone and you can upload it here.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And so we also want to put important topics that we receive a lot of requests on, like development projects, homelessness, COVID resources. And let me show you one feature that is my favorite. So I've been at the city for almost 5 years now. And my pet peeve is that sometimes search bars don't work the way you expect them to. And look at that, I'm just putting in holiday tree and it's already giving me what I need. And so here's a really great example. We have our department contact here on all of our program pages, and we have our department information. You can go to the department page, but we can put in images, text, links, and everything that our community needs. And this is an example of the syndication. And this is something that is being polished right now. So you're seeing a behind the scenes. But this related pages, these are syndicated content. And then again,
Very cool.
we have our services. So what I would like to do at this point is turn this over, and I will steer for Jen Burbidge to show you some of the features of the laceyparks.org.
Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, so Parks is a little bit ahead of the other departments. I know Kelly mentioned that they're going to be pulling in the different departments of the city now that the main city page format is set up. Well, Parks has been working with the consultant as well over the past, actually it got slowed down due to COVID. It has been a couple of years, at least 18 months. But what we're excited about is that we have, of course, our new branding up in the left-hand corner. You can see that, Lacey Parks Culture and Recreation. And we have over on the right, you've got a link to the, well, up above, you've got a link to the regular city website. So it will be seamless. The customer, won't be able to tell that it's kind of a different website. We had our own unique needs, such as being able to enter into sponsorship partnerships and be able to, advertise for those. But you can see, sponsorships, jobs, volunteering, contact information, and of course, translate over to the right, just like the city's main page. And then if you go down, we've got our most visited categories: parks and trails, facilities and rentals, activities. You can find out about our department, and then a quick button to registration. And so that will actually take them directly to our secure registration portal, which we use software called CivicRec. And this is where people can register for programs. Appreciate you driving, Kelly. So what we are the most excited about is the use of photos and less clicks than our current website. So you can see right away when you go to the website, there's lots of fun photos of things that are happening. One of the things we are working on, I just wanted to mention, is getting people in the photos. So this page is a good example of how there's a lot of people. But when you get to our parks photos, we'll go there in just a minute. You'll notice a lot of facility photos. We're working on, like I said, getting smiling faces and people using the facilities. So I don't want you to think that we're not going to be changing out the photos on those pages. It's really easy to do, super user friendly. But if you go, if you don't mind scrolling up to the top, Kelly, so there's the red bar, and you probably had noticed that as well. On the main city page, that's only if there is a certain announcement. Oh, I guess.
I apologize. I closed the bar for you so you could see the
Oh,
photo.
thank you. Okay. Yeah. Well, you saw the red bar. And so that would be any like emergency information, you know, kind of a red alert type. And we can take that bar up and down as needed for parks. And so we've got, you know, like I said, nice big photos on the front page. You've got your search bar right there, similar to the main city page in the middle. We wanted that to be easily accessible for folks. And then to Kelly's point as well, with the most common clicked items down here in the big blue bar, you've got registration for classes. So now you've already seen 2 ways that people can register for programs right off the bat. But a lot of people are looking for the rack information. They want to know, how can I rent a facility for a function? And then we wanted to make sure that the sponsorship opportunities were front and center as well. And so if you go down, kind of saw this a minute ago, but some of our, you know, main categories, again, parks and trails, sports and fitness, other classes and programs. And then if you keep going down, you see a little snippet of the museum. You can plan your visit, look at Lacey's history, look at some of the events that are related to the museum. And then if you keep going, you'll see some of our city events, the ones that are coming up the soonest will be on this front page. And of course you can click, you know, people can click to go get more information.
And this is syndicated content.
Thanks, Kelly. Yeah, so meaning, as she said earlier, we're updating it in one place, and then the public is able to access that across the city's website. And then we don't currently have any park partner sponsorships, but this is where they would be in a section here once we secure those.
Have we had any feedback on sponsorship? Are there any interested parties that are considering it?
Yeah, so we sell the most presenting sponsorships, and that is, for an example, the cultural celebration coming up next weekend. It's cultural celebration presented by Twin Star Credit Union. So that's one of our sponsorship categories. So
that's for an event.
So right, so where you'll see that exposure for the sponsor is going to be on the events page.
Okay.
So where they will appear on the front page is if it's actually our park partners, which are the highest level of sponsorship. We did have a few people interested before COVID. We're still trying to kind of come back from that, and we are meeting with a couple different people, but we don't have one nailed down yet. But Kelly's going to just show you real quick. So under parks and trails, if you go to municipal parks, that top one there. So what you'll see come up right away is all of our park locations that are have a little pin in them, so people can see right off the bat where our parks are located. And you can search, if you go to Long Lake Park, we'll say. Then it'll show you right on the map there, over to the right, exactly where it is in Lacey. And yeah, if you click on the tile there, it's got a nice big photo on the left with the map located to the right. It'll show you just underneath the photo what types. We've got these little icons for the different types of amenities that you can find there. And then over on the right-hand side, it does have the address. It's got the hours and the size of the park. It's got, you can click on the rules. You don't have to do it right now, Kelly, but just to kind of show you kind of the experience of using it. So that's an example of searching. Otherwise, the Parks and Trails page, it shows, if you go back one more and scroll down. Oh, sorry, without a search, it pulls up the tiles of all the different park amenities. Or excuse me, park locations. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. If you scroll down from there, if someone just wanted to keep scrolling down, they could see all the park sites in alphabetical order in different tiles. So it's pretty easy to find a location that way as well.
Way, way better.
I agree.
In addition to searching for a particular park too, you'll also notice on the left-hand side, Kelly, if you scroll back up, you can search for rentals or you can search for amenities. So say you were coming into town and you really wanted to play tennis or go skateboarding, you could search for those types of amenities and it would show you which parks in our system would have them and you could go to take part in that.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out.
And so Kelly, that'd be one of the filters. So you see the all amenities search, for example.
Yep, there you go. Oh, no parks found. Okay, so that, well, this is something we need to connect. Again, it's not quite finished yet, but yeah, so pretty excited about that. And we are planning to, oh, do you want to show real quick, Kelly, just the activities tab, just because we have so many. So if you want to go to, just go to, yeah, the landing page for activities. We've got events, which they can click on and find out more information. There's another way to register there. You've got aquatics. If you keep going down, classes and programs, trips and tours, sports and fitness. So again, really good use of photos and the tiles just to show on the landing page all the different options. So thanks.
Great job. I'm looking forward to seeing this come to prime time. No, getting on our current side is a struggle, and it's not very, just not very user friendly. You know, unless you're on there constantly and you learn how to navigate around the current system. And I'm sure it's a struggle for a lot of residents here that are trying to get information, and they go through this maze trying to figure out who in the heck do I need to talk to about this or that. So I'm glad to see that we're making progress on it. That's going to be a great thing. Great job.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to ask the predictable question coming from me anyway. And that is what's the communication plan in terms of, announcing, a new website, when you have incremental steps such as going from the PDFs to a fillable form online so that people actually know that new function is there and how to take advantage of it, that sort of thing.
Great question, Councilmember Cox. And so certainly we're going to be getting news out as we get closer to, our first phase 1 launch of the website going live and how people can use the website and some of the services that are going to be provided on that. So we'll be using, our social media website. We'll be using our Lacey Life and other communication platforms. We'll be using our Constant Contact, which is how, we connect with different segments to get information out, and doing blasts saying that our new website is up and running and to take a look at it, and that we're going to be continuing to make improvements and enhancements as we move on. And we'll be celebrating those improvements and enhancements as we continue through phase 2.
Okay. And if somebody has the old long name website bookmark, for example, in their browser, will it redirect to the new site?
Yeah, Councilmember Cox, we're going to be working on getting a lot of redirects and really working, so that we can have that for a period of time so that people can be guided to the new page.
Good. It sounds like you guys are so on top of it. You might guess I've been through some nightmare website updates that just did not go as planned.
Well, Councilmember Cox, I really appreciate the team we have. Kelly has been doing a fantastic job working with all of the departments, and I know Jen and her team have just been doing a phenomenal job as well, getting the parks page up and ready.
Definitely. Well, I'm really excited. I think, as Ed said, this is long overdue, and really happy that we can get this launched here pretty quick. So the end of the month is when you hope to go live with it?
That is correct, Councilmember Cox.
Yay.
Great.
That's great.
Sooner the better.
Is there anything we can do as council members to help promote it, or?
Oh, Councilmember Cox, I certainly think once the site is launched, we will use all voices that we have to get the news out that we have a new site, and to check it out and look for services and see if there's anything that we can enhance, as people are going through the website. We want to make it the best experience for end users. So certainly interested in hearing your feedback as well as any constituent feedback you get.
Okay. Sounds good.
Great. Was that it for today? Anything else for the good of the order? No? Okay. Well, everyone have a wonderful day, and I'll call this committee meeting adjourned. Take care.
Thank you so much for sharing this with